guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lee Marie and I teach you how to. Today's video is part 3 in my wholesale series for 2025, and I am trying to help you guys get into those major retailers, and I'm sharing all of the things that I've learned throughout the years of how to wholesale with a major retailer. Hopefully this video series gives you all of the information and all of the confidence you need to try and reach out to these major retailers and get your products into stores. Now, I've already talked about kind of what wholesale is, and I've also talked about how to reach out to these buyers and where to find them and things like that. Today's video is all about what to do once you find them, you've sent out the email, and now they've contacted you that they're interested. A lot of the information I share today is going to be from my own personal experience with a large retailer. Obviously, I'm going to generalize a lot. And I've also had the opportunity of working with multiple major retailers. So, all of the information is going to be a little bit general, but I'm going to try and give you kind of the steps that it takes to onboard and be accepted with a major retailer, kind of what that looks like and what you can look forward to. Many of you may know that for me, it was a kind of a unique experience because I didn't reach out to the major retailer that I'm with. They reached out to me via Instagram. They found me on Instagram, and then one of the buyers emailed me. And it was very surreal experience that I had no idea how on earth this huge retailer could be interested in my candles, but they were. And so what I'm basically going to be going off of is that first initial email, which is that first point of contact where they tell you that they're interested and where we go from there. So that is the first step, is where a buyer tells you that they're interested in your product. They want to know more. So what comes after that? Usually a phone call or like a video conference call. And basically during that call, what they want to know is about you. They want to know about your brand. They want to know what makes you special. They want to know who your ideal customer is and kind of what your brand ethos is, because they want to make sure that it aligns with them, their brand, and their customers. So it's kind of a little informal interview where they just want to get to know you, want to get to know the products, what inspired your business. And then they also want to know kind of who your ideal customer is and what your brand values are to make sure that it aligns with theirs. From there, hopefully that conversation goes amazing and they're super interested. The next thing that you're going to do is they're probably going to ask for samples. So you are going to send them your physical product and they're going to test it out, look at it, scrutinize it, and see if it's a fit for, again, their brand on their shelves in their stores. Now, when you're sending out this initial package, it needs to be perfection. This package needs to be beautiful. Give them an unboxing experience, but don't overdo it. If you're someone that, when you send out your products to your clients, you put like maybe a little confetti or stickers, or leave those out. What we're looking for is a beautiful, streamlined process. So if you normally use like a branded tissue, make sure that that's in your box and it's beautifully laid out. Put your products in a beautiful manner so that when they open it, they see all the beautiful boxes or whatever the packaging may be. And then a simple either candle care card or an about you card that you normally send out to your customers. What you don't want to do in this step is you don't want to give them a long-winded letter, of why you're amazing and why they should pick you or anything like that. It's not American Idol. What you want is just a beautiful unboxing experience for them with your products. Now, when it comes to what products you're going to send them, initially in the other videos that I'm going to link below, I told you that when you are seeking out a store or a buyer, that you have a focus in mind of what product or products you're going to pitch to them, basically. So you're not pitching your entire catalog. You're not sending them one of everything that you make. You are saying, I think my XYZ, my candles, my bath bombs, my soaps, my room sprays, whatever it may be, would be amazing in your store. What you're not going to send them is, I think all my products are awesome and I'm going to send you everything I make. That's not what this meeting and that's not what these samples are for. So make sure that you are laser focused into what product it is that you're sending them and make sure that the packaging and everything is just a beautiful unboxing experience for them. Now comes the worst part, which is the waiting. This process can take a matter of weeks, maybe even a month or two, depending on how busy the buyers are. Remember, buyers are busy, busy people. So it's not that they're ignoring you or anything, they just have a lot to do. So they're going to be looking over your product, scrutinizing it, testing it out, seeing what they think their ideal customer would think of your product. After that comes the decision. And that to me was like the worst waiting ever, because you're waiting to see if this huge retailer thinks you're good enough, if they like your product. So it was a long wait for me. Well, it wasn't super long, but it was definitely 3 or 4 weeks. Um, and then finally, I saw that email that said, let's hop on a call and discuss. And I was like, okay, we're discussing. Awesome. Hop on the call a week later, and it was like the happiest moment ever, because they said that they loved my candles, they love my packaging, they love what my brand stands for, and they think that it works well with what their brand stands for. We align well, we have similar customers, and they think that my products will do well. So that was an amazing call to have, just kind of that validation of I do make great products. This huge company wants them. It was a very elating moment for me. So hopefully you get that moment too. So now that the happiness is all worn out and you're back in on earth and you're back into reality, you realize now you have to onboard with this huge retailer and you have to get your products into their stores. So the next process is going to be kind of a lengthy one. Onboarding can take, anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe even 6 months, depending on how many different processes your retailer has. Keep in mind, these large retailers, they have a lot of different processes for the different things they do. They have different databases, different companies that they work with, outside vendors they work with that you now have to pair with. So the first and most important thing that they're going to send you is the contract. Read the contract, even if you don't like legal jargon, even if you don't understand it, read through it. And be sure to highlight, in case you don't, necessarily understand what you're reading, highlight any words that you find concerning or any sentences that you're like, oh, I don't know about that. That could be bad for me. Highlight those and either look them up later, or I would suggest having a business lawyer look at them. My business attorney, she reviewed this contract. And whenever you're dealing with a major retailer or anybody this contract is pages upon pages upon pages long. So make sure that you're having a professional lawyer look through them and see if they see any red flags, things that they'll be looking for as potential drawbacks to signing the contract. Now, keep in mind, if you haven't signed the contract, you haven't made a commitment yet, so you can still back out. And a lot of you are probably thinking, God, why on earth would I back out? Some of these contracts aren't written that great in your favor. So keep that in mind, that some of them might have things called like buyback clauses. A buyback clause is where if your product doesn't sell, you agree to buy it back. And that could be very costly. If they order $100,000 worth of product and $70,000 doesn't sell, they're going to expect that you buy that back and pay them $70,000. So things like that are going to be in the contract. They may or may not, depending on the company, but look for those things. And a business lawyer is going to find those things for you. And it could be potentially costly for you if you sign a contract without reading it. So always be sure to seek legal, professional lawyers. Find them wherever you can. A lot of them will consult for free. And then maybe if you decide to have them look at your contract, they might do it for, a nominal price. So they might say, okay, I'll review this for $1,000. I'll review this for, whatever. It may seem like a lot of money, but again, keep in mind, if you made that blunder and you signed that contract and it has that buyback agreement, you could be out tens of thousands of dollars. So it makes sense initially to spend that $1,000, $1,500 to have that business attorney look over that contract and make sure that you are protected. Once my business attorney and I discussed the contract, we liked what we saw, we signed, you sign, you give it back to them. They sign, they give you a copy. Be sure to print that out for your records. Always have it on hand and always have it with you, with whatever, important documents that you have for your business. So that's a very, very important document. After you sign your contract, then the onboarding process begins, and you're going to get contacted by lots of different departments. Again, it just depends on the organization of the retailer, what departments contact you, what information they need. You're going to have to create accounts in a lot of their databases. And then the most important thing that they're going to need from you is your insurance. And the insurance requirements are going to be listed on that contract with what they expect you to have insured at all times. The basics are going to be general liability, product liability, and an umbrella policy that names them as an insured. Now, if you have business insurance, which I hope and pray that all of you do, because it's super, super important, I can also link down below who I go through. It's surprisingly inexpensive for very, very good coverage. And it is product liability coverage, which is really nice. A lot of these retailers are going to ask to be named as an insured on your policy. And usually it's an umbrella policy of anywhere from 1 to 5 million, depending on the company, the retailer, and what their requirements are. So again, that's something that they will discuss with you. They will tell you, okay, our requirements are 2 million, umbrella policy, product liability, give us a certificate of insurance. So then what you would do is you would go to your insurance agent and you would say, hey, this is what I need. This is what they're asking for. And then they're going to draw up a certificate of insurance, basically saying that the retailer is now an insured, a listed insured on your policy. And then you're going to give that to them. That process alone took like 4 or 5 weeks when I onboarded. So again, all of these different steps, they do take a little bit of time. So just be patient and know that you are one step closer to getting your products into stores. So after this entire process of onboarding and registering with all these different databases and adhering to whatever the requirements are that this retailer has, then that's when they say, okay, here's what our vision for you. And they will set you up in a certain number of opening stores. And so your opening PO, your purchase order, is going to cover a certain number of stores. Now, depending on the retailer, that could be, they could do a region. They could do, it's rare that they would do nationwide. Just keep that in mind. Very, very rare. So don't necessarily expect that they would do nationwide distribution on your product, even if they're a company that is, nationwide. Just don't expect it. It's very, very common for a small brand to start out in a region. And a region can be anywhere from 10 to 50 stores. So when I started in 30 stores initially. And so as you go along, if your product does well, they keep adding stores. We've been fortunate that they keep adding stores to us, but it's a little bit of a slow process, and it has a lot to do with just waiting on how sales go, and they test out different markets and different areas to see how well your product does. But just know that, one, it's amazing that you even got into the retailer and that you're even in any stores. So that is a huge pat on the back, and that is a huge accomplishment. So I just don't want anyone to think that, oh, we got picked up by Nordstrom's and they only want us in 3 stores. Who cares? That's a massive deal. You're in Nordstrom stores. You can say that now. So know that your opening order is probably not going to be like this multi-million-dollar deal that you think it might be. It's going to be a little bit smaller, but it's going to get your foot in the door. And then also, once you are able to say, hey, we're in Macy's, we're in Target, then other retailers will kind of pay attention and be like, oh, okay, they're already in this retailer. Let's see what their sales are with them, and then we might want to pick them up. So it definitely only works in your favor. It picks up interest in your products. It's something you can definitely brag about because you've worked hard and now your products are in a major retailer, and it's a big deal. So hopefully, with the information that you get from these videos, I'm able to make that process easier for you, and you are able to see your amazing products in stores. And that's kind of the timeline of signing on with a major retailer. You're going to have those initial phone calls, they get to know you, you're going to send them products, they're going to see whether they like them or not. If they do, then you're going to sign your contract, you're going to onboard, and then you're going to get your first purchase order. And then, like I said in other videos, and as always, make sure that you are adhering to every guideline they give you. Pay attention to the instructions, even the little things. Um, Large retailers are very structured, and they need all of their vendors to pay attention to even the little details and to do everything that they need. So make sure you're paying attention to all the emails that you're receiving, that if they have specific instructions for when on how to mail out your purchase orders, you're doing it exactly to their instructions. And then hopefully after that, your products do amazing and they add more stores and you feel more confident approaching other retailers. And that is hopefully how you grow your business and how you become super successful in 2025. I truly hope that you found this video informative and that it helps you in your business journey of getting your products into stores. I wish nothing but the best for you guys and pray that all of the information that I give you helps you in some way, shape, or form. As always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.